Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm gonna show you all of my pickups in Canada ever since the first day I got here up until today. I want to wait a little bit longer, but I said, that's it for a while. I don't think I'm gonna buy anything for a while because seriously, this is just too much. You're about to see 30 plus games that I have purchased here in Belleville, Canada. Yeah, by this point everybody knows already that I'm in Canada. Anyway, alright, let's do this. Alright, first I want to show you what I got. Well, first of all, I am not going to show any gifts. All of my gifts are, in the back of me. These are mostly gifts from fans. I showed them in my last pickups video I made on Erick, Landon RPG, my other channel, my main channel. So it's kind of pointless to show them. First, believe it or not, there's one game that I got at Toys R Us. I know Toys R Us doesn't exist in the US anymore, but yep, they still have a bunch of stores in Canada. And Belleville has one, and I got the Sega Genesis Classics there for the equivalent of, I don't know, I paid 27 Canadian dollars for a sealed copy of this. It comes with a big poster of the horrible US cover of Golden Axe, which is fucking terrible. Not even the chick looks hot. I mean, not in my opinion. And Streets of Rage, another horrible cover. I mean, you tell me this is Blaze, you gotta be kidding me. But it's something extra, a little bit of an extra to include in this classic Genesis Classics instead of a manual. I think a manual would have been better, but okay. You guys have been seeing me stream some of the games here on Twitch and YouTube, so now you know where they're all coming from. Toys R Us. They barely have anything there, but it was just sitting there and I didn't find this game in any other store. So I was like, yes, I needed this. So I could stream the games. Next up is a pawn shop that I saw there. I showed it on my I Am in Canada video on my main channel. There was this pawn shop called Greenbacks. Greenbacks. As if your back was green. Whatever. About 3 games get there. I paid 20 bucks for these 3 games. You gotta understand that in Belleville you pay like 13% taxes for each purchase you make. Which is kind of, well, not for each purchase, like for the whole final total purchase you do. It's the final price plus taxes, 13% taxes. Yikes, that's a lot of money. But, 20 bucks for these 3 games, that was great. PlayStation Battle All-Stars was Sony's attempt to compete with Super Smash Bros. They failed miserably. I mean, this is still a great game, in my opinion, a great fighting game. It includes characters from Tekken, Kratos from God of War, the girl from Heavenly Sword, this girl here. I always pick her because she's amazing here. Parappa the Rapper, Jak and Daxter, and some other characters, the guy from Uncharted. I don't remember the name of this guy from Metal Gear Rising. Little Big Planet. The guy from Bioshock. I think they could have picked some other Sonic characters like Crash Bandicoot. That would have been amazing, and it truly would have competed perfectly against Super Smash. But overall it's a good game. I really enjoyed this game. Yes, I'm gonna say it, I'm not a fan of Super Smash. I don't like Super Smash. I don't play Super Smash Bros. But I do play PlayStation Battle All-Stars. Heavenly Sword, one of the first, if not the first, game made by Ninja Theory. Great game, totally a hidden gem. It's dirt cheap. Everywhere you go, you find this game for like $5, maybe $10, totally less than that. Heavenly Sword, great hack and slash. One of those multi-genre games. It has a lot of different missions to do. You don't only need to just hack and slash your way through and just beat 'em up your enemies. No, there's a lot of things to do here. It's a great game. Ninja Theory, the same guys who made the reboot of Devil May Cry called DMC, which is also the character appearing in Battle PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. What a name. Heavenly Sword, and last but not least, one of my favorite hack and slash ever made. Hack and slash beat 'em up a la Musou, you know, like Dynasty Warriors, 99 Nights, the first one, an Xbox 360 exclusive. These are great games. It got a lot of trash at first. A lot of critics trashed this game. They shat on it, and that was pretty bad because once I played this game, I was amazed. The cinematics look great. All the hack and slash, the action in this game is so satisfactory. It's a great game, much better than any Dynasty Warriors game I have ever played. To me, this is the epitome of the genre. It's a pretty good game, pretty underrated. Now let's move on to another store in Belleville. You see what I meant when I said that? In that other video, I said that there were a lot of stores in such a small town, which was great. Next store I want to talk about is Bill's Buy and Sell. It's like a second-hand shop, and he's a great guy. The store's been around for quite a while, almost 10 years, I think. And it's a great place to buy games, although it's still a second-hand shop, so most of the games are a little bit scratched. Some of them are missing manuals. None of them are in great condition, but some of them are, and you can still find a lot of great deals there. And the guy there, Bill, is an amazing guy to make deals. He's pretty approachable. E7, you guys saw me go crazy when I showed this game on my last pickups video on Erick, Landon RPG. I got pretty excited to own this game, so yeah, let's move on. Just gonna leave it here as part of the background. I also got Dino Crisis. This version in particular includes the Resident Evil 3 demo. And what got me, this is in great condition as a matter of fact, what got me really excited, the reason I purchased this game, even though I'm not the greatest Dino Crisis fan, is because it was cheap as hell. This version with the demo usually sells for like $50, 50 US dollars in my country, and I seriously paid like the equivalent of 15 US dollars, 15 for this. See, if you ever come to Belleville, go to Bill's Buy and Sell. You can still buy and find lots of great deals. Survival horror, isometric, a la Resident Evil, great game. The second one, it was more like a time attack, like so action-packed, not survival horror anymore. It was alright, and the third one on the Xbox was bad. Speaking of Capcom and survival horror games, here's Resident Evil 2. I just picked this one up today. Were you seeing this video on Saturday? So I picked this up yesterday. Yeah. Anyway, Resident Evil. I don't think this was a great purchase. It wasn't a great deal. I paid 40 Canadian dollars. It's like 30 US dollars. And you're probably gonna say, wow, that was a bargain. That was a great deal, a great purchase. But it's not exactly in good condition. I mean, the manual is in great condition, of course, but the discs are like a little bit scratched, like 8 out of 10, maybe less. So, and I am a fan of the first Resident Evil games, Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil Nemesis, maybe Code Veronica, Resident Evil 0, and that's as far as I go. After Resident Evil 4 came out, I was just not my kind of game anymore, not survival horror. This isn't Resident Evil. Resident Evil 4 is a great game, don't take me wrong, but they just did something different. They went to a totally different direction, and I didn't like that. But the first ones, the classics, I love them. Was a huge fan when I was like 20 years old of these games. And so glad I have this one back, because I had it at one point in my collection a long time ago, but I sold it. So yeah. Other game, it's a totally hidden gem. Puppeteers, a great platformer there. I got it for like 10 Canadian dollars. I can't believe it. This is like $20 game almost everywhere you go. Maybe $15 game, US dollars, and 10 Canadian dollars. That's like 6 or maybe 7 US dollars. Puppeteers, a pretty underrated game. This is the definition of hidden gem. Great platformer with graphics and art style, a little bit like Tim Burton style. And it's a 2-player game. It's a 2-player co-op game. So if you do this in 2-player, one player plays as the puppeteer, and the other player plays as the little guy here. I mean, there's the little guy here, and then there's this floating thing going around helping the little puppet. It's a great game. I'm so sad I can't show you any gameplay, you know, because of copyright issues. I don't want any copyright issues in my new channel, so I'm trying to avoid that. Sorry about that, but check this out. Search for gameplays of this game. You will be mind blown just because of the art style. Let's leave it at that. Puppeteer is a great game, a great hidden gem. Wow, speaking of hidden gems, and speaking again about Ninja Theory, the people who made DMC and Heavenly Sword, Enslaved, I already had this one, the PAL version, the European version in my collection. It was missing the manual, and I got it for 10 Canadian dollars. That's like $7 US. It was just a no-brainer, man. It's a great game. It's dirt cheap almost everywhere you go. If you see this game, and I really mean it, do not hesitate to pick it up. It's, in my opinion, by far the best Ninja Theory game I've ever played. I played DMC, Heavenly Sword, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. I played that game and it was awesome, but nothing matches Enslaved, Odyssey to the West. This is a great game. You know, it's science fiction, post-apocalyptic, about these two characters. You play as this guy, Monkey, and then there's this girl following you around and helping you in some areas, in some puzzles. And it's just great. You really get attached to the characters here. You really get attached to them, and you fall in love with them. And you just want to see them succeed with their mission, which is to technically get out of there, of this post-apocalyptic world, and find the truth about it. The truth about why these machines are now ruling this green, long, big, open world. It's not an open world game. I just mean that, you know, it's the universe they created for this game is just amazing. Amazing game, great hidden gem. Also from Build, Buy and Trade, buy on sale, I mean. I got Guilty Gear, Accent Core. Out of all, I think there's 4 Guilty Gear titles on the PS2. This one is among the rarest. The other two of them are pretty common and pretty cheap. The other ones are like a little bit expensive and hard to find. This is in mint condition. Wow, I mean, it's like impeccable condition. And it was like $30, 30 Canadian dollars. That's like, no, it was 20 Canadian dollars. 20 Canadian dollars, like 15 US dollars. It was a great purchase. I am starting to collect fighting games pretty much ever since I got here. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of fighting games, so I couldn't leave this one behind. I'm a huge fan of Arc System Works, and little by little I'm gonna start collecting almost every single game made by them. There's more Arc System Works here coming up. Last but not least, from Bill, I got this Gaia. Although I was pretty bummed, these fucking labels, man, I hate them. I hate them. Bill didn't put this and I just got it this way. There's another one here. Man, I just hate when people do this to their games. It's just fucking retarded. Pisses collectors off. But they don't give a shit. Disgaea Hour of Darkness. I'm not the biggest Disgaea fan, you guys know that. I'm not a fan of the Disgaea series. But this is the version, out of all the versions of this game, this is the one I played. This is the one I kicked my ass. This is one of the hardest PS2 JRPGs I've ever played in my life. Strategy RPG, there's no need for introductions. This Gaia, I got it also for 20 Canadian dollars, which is 15 US dollars, and I said, why the hell not? Alright, moving on to Chumley's. Chumley's is another second-hand shop. It's pretty close by where I live. It's an amazing place. Here's a bunch I got there. First of all, well, you've probably seen me a lot of times using a The Cure t-shirt. I'm a huge fan of Nine Inch Nails and also The Cure. And I do like collecting CDs. And for the first time in my life, I got The Head on the Door and Wish. Not sure if any of you are fans of The Cure. I'm a big fan. And these are pretty mint condition for like $6 each, $5 each, 5 Canadian dollars. It was a no-brainer for me. I do like collecting The Cure discs. And these were like a no-brainer. The Cure, Wish, and The Head on the Door. Not video game related, but meh. Pickups from Canada. That includes everything. Even my fan, I bought a fan. I'm gonna show it right now. I'm just kidding. Wild Arms 2! Oh, this was a great find. They had 2 copies there. Sadly, most of the PS1 and 2 discs, they cleaned them. And I don't like that. I prefer to have the scratches. But you know, I had been searching for this game for quite a while. And I was like, you know, everything else is in great condition. The manual, the box. I mean, you won't see it exactly right here on the video, but trust me when I say the box is in great condition, and I appreciate that. When it comes to PS1 games, I appreciate that. Wild Arms 2, great game. I used to have this in my collection. That was like a long time ago. I sold it before going to England. Now I got it back and I'm so damn happy. Another PS1 game that I got with a strategy guide. You've probably seen this guide in some of my earlier videos on this same channel and on my main channel. Alone in the Dark is a great survival horror game. I paid like the equivalent of 22 US dollars for all of it. This game is a pretty rare game in Mexico. You rarely find this game, you rarely see it, and when you see it, it's like 50 US dollars. They take advantage of games like this. But Alone in the Dark is a great game, great survival horror. It's in perfect condition. I don't think they cleaned the discs here. Let me just check. Yeah, they didn't, because they are in almost impeccable condition. Alone in the Dark, great survival horror. These games scared the shit out of me when I was like 20 years old. And I mean it. I mean, there's really these dark parts and where you're just walking and then all of a sudden you get attacked by these enemies. These are really cryptic games. It's hard to get through this game without a walkthrough. So maybe someday I'll put this to use. More from Chumley's. Blast Blue, another Arc System Works games. I think this is the first Blast Blue ever made. Fighting game, I love the Blast Blue. I prefer Blast Blue any day over Guilty Gear. But anyway, Blast Blue, great fighting game. There's like 3 games on the PS3 with some extended versions of them. Yeah, Blast Blue became a huge thing when this game first came out. Right now it's kind of like a forgotten saga. I don't know why. It hasn't been getting more attention than what it did before. But anyway, White Knight Chronicles, I talked about this too. Talked about this game a lot of times in my channel. Action, real-time strategy, action real-time RPG, you know, with a battle system similar to Xenoblade Chronicles. Great game, pretty underrated. And I got the sequel as well, but on another store. Let's move on with Xenosaga 2. You guys know I already own Xenosaga 3 back in Mexico. I left my entire collection there, so it's just gonna sit there for a while. And I was always missing Xenosaga 1 and 2, so finally, Xenosaga 2, I got it back. Fatal Fury Battle Archives Volume 1. There's 2 volumes, Volume 1 and Volume 2. The second one's a little bit harder to find. It was just sitting there, but it was like 20 something dollars, and I'm not such a big fan of Fatal Fury, but this collection was just 10 Canadian dollars. And I was like, you know, $10, come on. It includes Fatal Fury 2, Fatal Fury Special, and Fatal Fury 3. All of them great fighting games. This was the beginning of the King of Fighters. This was the predecessor. A lot of King of Fighters characters are originally from this game, so Fatal Fury, classic. To have the collection in one disc is just great. Last but not least, from Chumley's, I found this one. I made an entire video about this with the big strategy guide. Jesus. I showed this on that other video called the Final Fantasy XII Controversy. Be sure to check it out. I showed this over there. That's it for Chumley's, and let's move on to the final store, which was the stellar store on my I Am in Canada video called P Market. Let's see what I got from there. First of all, I went nuts when I showed this game on my pickups video last time on the other channel. Might and Magic Clash of Heroes, great puzzle game RPG. It's an amazing game, Canadian RPG. You know, I talked about this game that day. I talked a lot about this game. It's just, this game drives me nuts, man. It's a great game. You see this game, pick it up. It's heavily addicting. Great, pretty underrated, hidden gem, great game. Here's the sequel, White Knight Chronicles 2. I haven't played this game yet, but I know very soon, once I get rid of my backlog. Now I have a huge backlog for the first time in my life. Damn it. But anyway, White Knight Chronicles 2, it also includes the first White Knight Chronicles. So if you're not a collector and you just want both games, to play both games, get this version. It's dirt cheap. It's like, I found it for like 10 Canadian dollars. That's like 8 US dollars, 7 US dollars. That's pretty cheap actually, because this game usually goes for a little bit more, like a $15 game everywhere you go. So it was a great deal. Next is the King of Fighters 12. King of Fighters. I am not exactly a huge fan of the King of Fighters. I prefer Blast Blue, Guilty Gear, Persona fighting games. The Persona fighting games are my favorite. Maybe some earlier Capcom fighting games, but the King of Fighters, I'm a fan. I like them. I'm gonna start collecting them, and this is the first one in my collection. King of Fighters 12. Good game. I think the 13 did better, but still a great game. Wow, it's piling up here. Trinity, hidden gem on the PS3, action RPG. Talked about this game on my game pickups from last time, from 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, on Erick Landon RPG, along with Tears to Tiara 2, strategy RPG. Pretty underrated titles, hidden gems on the PS3. And these two are exclusive to the PS3, which makes them all the better. And I got these two for dirt cheap. I think I paid $20, 20 Canadian dollars, the equivalent of 15 US dollars. That's dirt cheap for these two games, considering in Mexico these are really, really hard to find and often really expensive there. Moving on to some PS4 titles that I also showed in my game pickups last time. Valkyria Chronicles Remaster, sealed. It says here 29, but I paid $20 for it. Bloodborne, Inokuni 2, Revenant Kingdom. This is the Day 1 edition, with includes special sword set, which is right here. Yeah, I was expecting to find, wow, sword set. Oh, action figures, toys. Nah, just DLC. Yeah. Dragon Age Inquisition. You guys know I own the PS3 glitchy and buggy version. Now I finally have the good version of Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm a fan of this game. I'm a fan of Dragon Age series. Great game. Great RPG. I also got for like $10 Final Fantasy Type 0 HD. This was originally released on the PSP a long time ago, like 2011 I believe, and it was never released outside Japan. I tried playing that game on the PSP, but it never worked. The file never worked, and then I went to my friend's house and played it, and we played it. It was like, the battle system, I don't know, it's really obnoxious. I'm gonna stream this game on my main channel very soon, just so we can all find out together what kind of game it is, because as far as I'm concerned, it's a really weird game. It's not part of the main series, it's just a spin-off. We'll see about that. Oof. The Last Story, I also went nuts when I showed this game on my pickups video. The Last Story is one of my favorite Wii RPGs, made by Hironobu Sakaguchi and his company Miss Walker after he left Square Enix. Great action RPG, pretty original, pretty unique, great missions here, great story, great soundtrack, great everything. The Last Story. You guys know I'm a huge fan of it. More fighting games, Battle Fantasia. This, look at this, it looks like an RPG. It looks like an RPG, but it isn't. It has some RPG elements here and there on the story mode, but it's a fighting game made by Arc System Works. Wanna know how much I paid for this? Complete in box, and some scratches here and there. Fairly good condition. 5 Canadian dollars, like 3 US dollars. It was a no-brainer. Battle Fantasia. Check this game out. It's still dirt cheap. It also came out on the PS3, but digital only. The only physical version of this game is the Xbox 360, and it is pretty good. Hidden gem, hidden fighting games. Hidden gems, fighting games. Dead Smiles, it's another hidden gem. A shoot 'em up, or shoot 'em right, as I like to call them. Dead Smiles, it's all about gothic lolitas, and I don't like lolitas, but I do like gothic stuff and gothic art style. And this has some amazing characters. Stupid story, it's a silly story, but it's kind of entertaining. But the gameplay mechanics here, it just looks beautiful. It's another exclusive on the Xbox 360. It's a great game, and if you see this game for a cheap price, pick it up because it's getting more rare each year. I paid $20, 20 Canadian dollars, which is 15 US dollars, but I've seen this game for way more than that. So if you give this game a chance, if you like shoot 'em ups or shoot 'em rights. Blue Dragon, another Hironobu Sakaguchi RPG, the first one he made after he left Square Enix. Blue Dragon, pretty cool turn-based RPG that became its own franchise, but now it's dead. And another exclusive for the Xbox 360. And my final pickup, it's another Guilty Gear. This is called Guilty Gear 2 Overture. made by Arc System Works, but this is not a fighting game. It's not a fighting game, that's right. This is sort of like, wow. It's an action hack and slash with some real-time strategy. It's a damn mess. It's one of those experiments that went wrong. I mean, a lot of people hate this game, a lot of people trash this game. When I played it, I was like, okay, it's an okay game. I mean, I appreciate it for what it is. Guilty Gear 2 Overture on the Xbox 360, it's also an exclusive to the system. It's not a fighting game, but if you're into the Guilty Gear series and you like hack and slash, action, strategy games, this is right up your alley. Pick it up. That's it, I'm done. Whew. That was a long video, lots of pickups from Canada. 30 plus games, wow. Maybe someday I'll do another one before I go back to Mexico or something. But for now, that's it guys. That's it, those are my pickups from Belleville, Ontario, Canada so far. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. See you next time.